Introduction to the First Successful Ascent of Mt.Rainier, 1870. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sue Anderson. First Successful Ascent of Mt.Rainier, 1870, by Hazard Stevens. Introduction by Edmond S. Meany. General Hazard Stevens was born at Newport, Rhode Island on June 9, 1842. His father was Major General Isaac I. Stevens, and his mother, Margaret Hazard Stevens, was a granddaughter of Colonel Daniel Lyman of the Revolution. In 1854 and 1855, while the son was only 13 years of age, he accompanied his father, then the first governor of Washington Territory, on treaty-making expeditions among the Indian tribes. Later, he accompanied his father into the Union Army as an officer on his father's staff. He was severely wounded in the same battle where his father was killed while leading the charge at Chantilly, September 1, 1862. Hazard Stevens continued in the Army, and at the end of the war he was mustered out as a Brigadier General of Volunteers. He then returned to Washington Territory and went to work to support his mother and sisters. On August 17, 1870, he and P.B. Van Trump made the first successful ascent of Mt.Rainier. In 1874, he followed the other members of the family back to Boston, where he remained until his mother's death a few months ago. He then returned to Puget Sound and is now, 1916, a successful farmer near Olympia. His companion on the ascent, P.B. Van Trump, remained in Washington. For a number of years, he was a ranger at Indian Henry's hunting ground in the Mt.Rainier National Park. There, he was a quaint and attractive figure to all visitors. In 1915, he returned east to live among kinsfolk in New York State. The names of both Stevens and Van Trump have been generously bestowed upon glaciers, creeks, ridges, and canyons within the Mt.Rainier National Park. General Stevens prefers to call the mountain Takhoma. The full account of the ascent was published by him under the title of The Ascent of Mount Takhoma in the Atlantic Monthly for November 1876. It is here reproduced by the permission of the editor of that magazine. Mr. Van Trump made several ascents after that first one, and in 1905, General Stevens also made a second ascent. He searched in vain for the relics he had deposited at the summit 35 years earlier. The rocks that were bare in 1870 were under snow and ice in 1905. End of introduction.